The world seems harsh for an entrepreneur just starting out, with many difficult tasks like finding investors, gathering funds, nurturing a team, and building a product. Founders often are found overwhelmed and directionless. To relieve this tension, we at Goodfirms conducted interviews with successful IT companies and discussed trending topics as well as their impact on the IT industry. So, without any further ado, let's dive into the conversation. Okay, how's your day going?
It's going pretty good.
That's great. That's great. So my name is Suhana, and I'm working as a marketing head here in Goodfirms. So thank you for taking part in this Leaders Roundtable. And I'll be mentioning that I'll be using the word readers here a lot because we'll be using these interviews and publishing them as blogs on our platform on Goodfirms.
Okay.
So could you please start by, introducing yourself and the company and your designation as well?
Okay. So my name is Rochak Chauhan. Right? I'm basically from Chandigarh and I work with Trigma Solutions as a project manager.
That's great. And so should we move forward with the conversation? So, that super apps is a very new concept in the market and not many people have heard of it. So, if you can give a very brief about, what are super apps for our readers?
Okay. The super app is a mobile or a web application that can provide multiple services. For example, to break it down in easier words, it can be like messaging, e-commerce, payment processing, delivery, right? Another example is like Tencent's WeChat, right? I'm sure that you might have heard about it.
Yeah,
it's the first example of a super app, right? Providing tools for payments and financial transactions as well as communication among a user circle of friends.
Okay. So super app industry is really growing well. So why is every tech CEO asking its team to develop a super app for their firm or for the public here?
Okay, so super apps are those kind of mobile apps that fulfill almost every need of a customer, right? And today, all of the CEOs and companies believe in customer satisfaction at the end of the day, right? So there are a lot of benefits of developing a super app. Some of them are, like for example, we can take diversity in revenue system, right? Customer lifetime value, rapid growth of audience, cost cutting in app development, convenience and consolidation, security and sign-in. We all know that security is the major deal these days, right? Everybody needs security and everybody needs their privacy. And super app can actually make this happen for people, right? They can actually be secure and have their own systems and feel free while doing anything on them.
Yeah. So super apps is like, it's bringing an entire community into a single platform, into a single roof. So like, is this the best idea for the digital world, for the future that we see?
I surely believe that is true because super apps can be the best idea for digital ecosystem because one app connects an entire ecosystem of other apps, right? It frees up space for users in their own device, right? You don't need to have multiple apps for a single job to be done, right? For example, if you say Google Pay, right? It can also do payments for you. It can also do bank transfer. It will also help you to check your bank statements and it will also showcase you your transaction history, right?
True.
So one app does it all.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need to have multiple apps in your phone, right?
Yeah.
From a perspective, this includes connecting with friends, sharing experiences, seeking expert advice, listening to music, right, and checking bank balances from one central place. Right. The super app also enables consumers to seamlessly integrate all of these facets of their lives and get to know them intimately, like who they are and which bank they use. Right?
Yeah, true. And so super apps is bringing all of these facilities under one roof, but I'm sure it's not very easy to develop these kind of apps, right?
Obviously, you need to understand that anything that is good takes time to be built, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the complexities around it developing? What should they keep in mind when they think of we are going to develop a super app for a company?
So the first and the foremost thing, which is one way the best thing about super apps, and another way it is the most difficult thing while developing it, right? That is personal data security, right? There are many complexities while developing multifunctional applications known as super apps, right? A lot of data is stored by super applications in one place, right? So if storage is compromised, all of the information could also be compromised, which is not good. This means that if attackers head to the servers, they would have access to personal data like transaction histories, contacts, and payment card details, which is something we don't want to share with anybody, right? So that is the other thing are number of functionalities that we need to build in a single app, right? Building such application requires a lot of functionalities to make that platform customer ready and to make a one-stop solution for them.
True. Right? I think these are very good points that you have highlighted, given that the personal data security is the major concern that should be taken into consideration while developing apps out there. So
another point that is personalized customer experience, right? That is one thing that is there. So giving personalized touch to a customer through multifunctional app is a very difficult thing, right? So it requires highly intelligent AI to handle backend to track customers' buying journey, his or her interest, buying frequency.
Definitely. So super apps is almost like an all-in-one experience that we can provide to customers. But definitely, as you mentioned, that data security is a major issue that should be addressed first. So what are the chances or data theft or manipulation in customer decisions that can occur through these apps if the data goes into wrong hands, right?
Okay. For this, so we need to understand that for every new technology disrupts the old one. Every new technology has its own pros and cons, right? In today's scenario, right, we are continuously supplying our data in a decentralized manner. And big brands and companies use these data. They integrate and target the common audience in a manipulative consumer decision, right? If we as a customer of this technology, our data will be in one hand, right? So availability of data will not be easy for any company, right? The one who will access the data will be much more powerful individually in the power of society when it comes to rising of the society, right? For example, if you have all the data about everything in the world, I will be God, right?
Definitely.
I will know what you like in food and what I like to drink at night, right? So all of this coming together that's the major deal, right? So for that, you have security layers over here to protect the data, right? For example, certain geographies like Europe and the US have more protective of personal data than others, right? Super app builders will need to integrate privacy considerations into their apps and address individual concerns, right?
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that you've mentioned, like, having all of those data with you, you'll be God. I think that is an amazing monopoly to have, isn't it?
I won't comment on that, but it's just there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not focusing it on you, but it'll be an amazing monopoly to have for anybody, right?
For sure. If you know what your kids are gonna have tomorrow, what they had the last night, it would be great for the parents as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, in the beginning of the conversation, that the wave of super app is basically started from China. You even mentioned WeChat because they were the first company that could successfully implement this idea across the country, and they have their even own currency of what I've read on the internet. So, many such Indian apps, Indian businesses like Paytm, Jio, they are also doing all of those stuff, but they haven't been able to gain that much popularity, right? And now recently that Tata Neu has been launched. So what do you think? Will it be able to reach the masses, make an impact with, and get that kind of connection with the audience?
Okay, so according to me, apps like Line and WeChat doing so well in super app segment because primarily they offer instant messaging features in their apps, right? Geo or even like Tata Neu, right? So they have to build those things over there. And moreover, when it comes to the Indian market, right, we need to also understand that it takes time for people to adapt to such things. Even though we say that we should go like online payment transaction should be the new word, but it is hard for people to to understand that yes, this is the future. To
Yeah.
accept a thing is very difficult nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Moreover, if you see, the Paytm and Geo apps are slowly growing, right?
Yeah.
As they
Yeah.
also have in e-commerce services, right?
Hmm.
Plus the payment app thing also works. We would surely see a digital India coming ahead.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Yeah.
And moreover,
So,
shedding light on the Tata New thing. So Tata recently launched Tata New, giving features like healthcare, e-commerce, and fashion, right? Travel and
yes.
in Indian scenario, here comes the psychology factors. Their application will only be scalable in the urban cities where all of their services are available. But
Hmm.
60% of Indian population stays in rural cities. So Tata Neu will have 50-50 chances of reaching the masses. So that's also
Yeah.
there.
Definitely. And the thing that you mentioned, that the success of Line and WeChat was mostly also because they started with instant messaging and not just with the payments, because we as Indians, we are very protective of our money, of where it is going, where are we
Yes.
spending it on. So if something Paytm or Jio or Tata Neu could also start with that line and also deviate to others like e-commerce and healthcare and payment at the later stage, right?
Yes, even if you see these days, WhatsApp is also coming up with their own payment system, right? So
Yeah.
they are also trying to disrupt this market, but it will take time
Yeah.
for them because there are bigger fish, like there are bigger sharks in the pond already.
Yeah,
Yes.
so moving to the next question, like, are super apps, changing the mobile app development economics, or, is it being more developed there? Is super apps are being more in demand, or people are asking develop to develop such kind of app?
Yes, if you see these days, people are asking more and more of these things to be coming ahead, right? They
Yeah.
want like so obviously super apps offer tremendous economic incentives for developers, and the user
Hmm.
experience is often better because of the convenience, right?
Yeah.
However, only few companies can create these types of apps because of how much money, time, and resources are necessary to build them, right?
Hmm.
You don't want to have an half cooked meal, right? You want to have a full cooked meal, and it will take time, it will take ingredients, it will take money, right? So
True.
that's there. So also you see these apps are simply that simplified tasks, right? They do things like process payments, organize social media, buy items online, pay rent, and buy train tickets. The trend isn't well known in the Western world yet, but some competitors have emerged in Asia as well, right? As the
Yeah.
competition among app developers continues to increase, it is likely we will see even more single-purpose apps coming out soon, right? Super apps
True.
might grow to become the capability to replace the entire operating system in the future, but it is still too early in the game to determine.
Yeah, true. And also, we are not very much habituated in using. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah, so I was saying that we always like to juggle between apps and ordering food from Zomato or booking tickets from Book My Show. So okay, so are users going to limit their use to one single platform?
whether they are getting all their needs fulfilled satisfaction in one app, right? If that integration successfully retains customers, there will be a monopoly in a play. So it would be easy to limit their use of various platforms to the one-stop shop.
Okay. So
Yes.
going to the last question that is very much connected to the one that I just asked, how difficult it is to attract and retain clients from such different individual service focused apps to into one single app, catering to all needs.
For sure. So according to like generation, so Gen Z and the Alpha generation, right? Gen Z
Yeah.
represents the 90s generation, and the Alpha represents the generation who were born post 2010, right? Are the
Okay.
early adopters of the new and inexperienced platform. Because of
Yeah.
their explore tendency, and they are the ones having high paying capacity for tech expect, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that the new super app technopreneurs need to do is to market and their launches under new, innovative, and convenient positioning. That's my point of
Okay.
view on that.
Yeah, definitely, because the new generation is more, exposed
Keen.
to it, and yeah, exposed to it, and they'll be more easily take up a concept such as super apps.
Yes. And as
Okay.
we are seeing that the industry is booming these days, it's it's somewhere or the other gonna be the future, right? If you don't want to have
definitely.
multiple things, you want to have things organized in one place, right?
Definitely. And that also reduces the memory space that is being occupied in phone. And definitely, a single app that would cater to all needs is definitely the future.
For sure.
Okay. So thank you so much, Rochak, for taking out the precious time and participating in our campaign. This will really help other budding entrepreneurs and help them go to the top.
Thank you so much, Sohana, for your time and giving us this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye.